One on behalf of the entire staff of Beech Ridge Motor Speedway and the Cusack family. It's my pleasure to welcome you to Maine's oldest continually operating family-owned speedway. My name is Bruce Elder, your race commentator. Assistant starter Junior Niles atop the flag stand for heat number 1 gives the drivers the all clear as they glance over staging on the backstretch. We look for a start at turn 4. Flagman asked them to pick it up just a little bit. Slow start out of turn 4. Green is out. From the outside, Alan Burby in the number 50 shows the way down into turn 1. Side by side for second goes Rocky Yargo to the inside. David Raymond to the outside. Jim Colbert Jr. on the move on the outside in the number 99, as is Al Meserve and Kurt Bean. Only 12 drivers that qualify for the event. Colbert gets it a little bit sideways. That causes Earl Glidden to get into the brakes. They handle that okay. Top 4 break away just a bit. Race leader Alan Burby, followed by Rocky Yargo. Then comes David Raymond, Jim Colbert Jr., Earl Glidden rounds out the top 5. Bob Doak takes it way out over the stripe as we get into some 4-wide racing down the front stretch. Glidden now trying to get to the inside of the number 3. Raymond gets the car sideways, does a nice job of holding it. Glidden continues to work on the inside of the number 3. Can't quite do it. Has to settle for that 5th place position. Remember, only 12 qualifying spots available right now. That's in the hands of Phil Weber in the number 79. Jim Colbert looks to the inside of the number 65 of Rocky Yargo. Now he finds room down deep into the inside of the number 65, taking over the second place position, Jim Colbert in the 99. Al Burset trying to get up into that last qualifying position in the number 23. Johnny Whitten does the same in the number 83 as he works to the outside of the 23, now to the outside of the 138 of Paul Ross. Last qualifier at the moment would be the 83 driven by Don Whitten. Those drivers who do not get up into the top 12 will have to come back in a consolation event where only 8 spots are available. Paul Ross now holds that last qualifying position. Coming up on the halfway mark indicates starter Junior Niles. Top 3 have broken away now. Alan Burby continues to be followed by Jim Colbert, then Rocky Yargo, Earl Glidden to position 4, and John Mayculper rounds out the top 5. Colbert now puts the pressure to the back of the number 50 of Burby. Last qualifier now would be the 104. That's Ed Strong. Colbert looks to the outside of race leader Alan Burby now. Couldn't find the room, looks back to the inside. Burby continues to show the way as he holds the number 50 right on the rail through the turns. Bumper broken loose now on the rear of the number 50. Kurt Bean gets the car sideways out of turn 4 as he works to the outside of the number 91. Problems on the Phil Weber car as the number 79 dips into the infield. Mechanical failure evidently taking the 79 out of contention, and that will mean the consolation event for Phil Weber. Only 2 laps to go indicates our starter. Bumper off from the number 50 slides out to the outside of the backstretch. All the cars managed to get by. Car now up a car out over turns 3 and 4. Kurt Bean in the number 42. Checkered flag in the air as the cars negotiate turn 4. Culprit gets it sideways, almost collects the retraining wall in an effort to try to take the qualifying heat. Jim Culprit Jr. sideways across the line. Once again, those cars outside of a qualifying position will have to come back in a consolation event. But right now, down at Victory Lane, nice round of applause, please, for Alan Burraby, collecting heat number 1 in the limited sportsman division. Tony Field and Russ Johnson to try it once again. Looking for an even start at turn 4 once again. The 19 out on the outside. They finally get the green right at the stripe. Tony Field, Russ Johnson go at it wheel to wheel out of turn 2 and down the backstretch. Spike Matitol on the move on the outside. Tim Maloney and Dave Sprague look for racing room to the inside. 3 wide down the front stretch. Spike Matitol between cars looks to go to the front as he works to the outside of Tony Field in the number 11. Matitol from Scarborough, Maine, former modified competitor here at the Beech Motor Speedway. Takes over the point as they work down into turns 1 and 2. New leader, Spike Matitol in the number 89. Russ Johnson on the move now as he tries to draw it even with Tony Field in the number 11. Gets a little wide out of turn 4. Tony Field hangs on to that second place position. Then comes Russ Johnson, David Sprague going at it wheel to wheel. Dave Sprague continues to be boxed in as he works at the back bumper of the number 11. Russ Johnson continues on the outside of Dave Sprague. Scott Johnson looking for racing room now to the inside. Sprague dives way underneath the number 11. Gets into the side of Tony Field. They go at it wheel to wheel down the front stretch. Continue to bang on each other. And some damage evidently on both cars as Dave Sprague and Tony Field get together. Sprague will take the number 1 on a pit road. We stay on the green. Russ Johnson in second. Scott Johnson third. Mark Bernier is 4th. And Scott Reed rounds out the top 5. Flagman indicates it will be just 2 laps to go this time by. White flag in the air for Spike Matitol, Russ Johnson, Scott Johnson, Mark Bernier, as the top 4 have put considerable distance on the last couple of cars. And checkered flag now out for Spike Matitol, collecting his qualifying heat, followed by Russ Johnson, Scott Johnson, and Mark Bernier. Now at Victory Lane, your winner of the first qualifying heat in the Super Sportsman Division, it's Spike Matitol in the number 89. Flagman Eddie Walsh asks the drivers to hold it even as they approach turn 4. Green is out. Steve Carrier shows the way right from the pole position. Side-by-side battle shaping up for the second place position. Gary Johnson to the inside, Tim Land to the outside. Young Steve Carrier in his rookie year in the late model sportsman division now has a veteran Gary Johnson working to his outside in the number 53. And another rookie at the back bumper, young Mike Mayetta. Gary Johnson in the number 53 takes over the point at turn 1. Young Mike Mayetta trying to follow suit as they continue. Going strong in the outside groove. Here comes Kerry Winslow and Bobby Babb along with Bobby Harrison. They'll be coming up on the halfway mark, indicates flagman Eddie Walsh. Gary Johnson now. Mike Mayetta Jr. continues to look to the outside of the number 53. Kerry Winslow down on the inside. Bobby Babb in 4th place position. And Bobby Harrison, your 5th place competitor. Bobby Libby working up into the 6th place position in the number 34. He is the only driver here this afternoon with the opportunity to be a repeat winner's flag victor. But in order to do that, he must win today's feature event. Bobby Libby in the number 34 would like nothing better. Turned some very fast time in practice this afternoon. 2 laps to go now. But in order to be in that clash this afternoon and an opportunity to take home the extra $1,000, Bobby Libby will have to be able to capture this afternoon's feature event. White flag down for Gary Johnson. Kerry Winslow, Bobby Babb now side by side with Mike Mayetta Jr. Checkered flag in the air now. Gary Johnson will capture heat number 1, followed by Winslow, Babb, Mayetta, and I believe the 5th place to Bobby Harrison in the number 37. Coasting down into the victory lane area. Nice round of applause, please, for Gary Johnson, winning heat number 1, the late model sportsman division. Start now. Green is out. Gary Adams from the inside jumps into a quick lead. Dave Langlis now up to challenge for the 2nd place position. Goes at it side by side with Chuck Haynes. Then comes Dennis Hall and Kevin Buck. And side by side battles right straight back through the pack. Remember now, only 12 positions available. Ron Smith comes out on the short end of some 3-wide racing. Out of turn 2. Possible mechanical problem on the number 49. Last qualifier at the moment, I believe, would be Gordon Nelson. That's bound to change around. The high point men at the tail end of the pack. Flat tire on the number 49 of Ron Smith. Tough break for Smith. That will relegate him to the consolation event. Leader continues to be Gary Adams in the 74, followed by Dave Langlis, Dennis Hall, Chuck Haynes, and Dennis Quinn. Last qualifier at the moment, I believe, would be Pee Wee Knight in the 111. Obviously, all these high point men want to get up and qualify in this qualifying heat and avoid the consolation event if they possibly can. This is the last qualifier now would be Danny Bugar in the number 24. Mike Field gets sideways out of turn 4. Loses a lot of ground. Problems on the 54 of Rick Frenette as smoke pours from inside the cab of the number 54. Meanwhile, no problems for Gary Adams as he continues to cruise out front, followed by Dave Langlis, Dennis Hall, Dennis Quinn, and Chuck Haynes, your top 5. Cars on the move, Jeff Morgan in the number 70, Dwight Shepard in the 34. Spin between turns 3 and 4. Point leader Dave Fecteau. Not at all what Dave Fecteau wanted to have happen, as he is in a battle with Larry Gelinas in the number 37 for the point championship. And unless things change around, Dave Fecteau will definitely find himself in the consolation event. Coming into today's racing, Dave Fecteau held a 29-point advantage over Larry Gelinas. Fecteau sits outside of a qualifying position, and in fact will find himself back in the Consi lineup. Not the way he wanted to have today's course of events run. Last qualifier, I believe, would be Pee Wee night if things finished as they are right now. Cars working in lap 13, it will be just 2 to go. Flagman Eddie Walsh indicates next time by it will be just 2 to go. Larry Gelinas has come all the way from the next to the last position, and now knocking on the door of the top 3. Perhaps the man to beat right now in this limited sportsman division is the number 37. White flag in the air. Taking over the 3rd place position, coming all the way from the back row, Larry Gelinas. Checkered flag in the air for Gary Adams, capturing heat number 2. Followed by Dave Langlis, Larry Gelinas, Dennis Hall, and Dennis Quinn, your top 5. Coasting down into the victory lane area. Nice round of applause, please, for Gary Adams, winner of the 2nd qualifying heat in the limited sportsman division. Ten laps on tap. Six feature wins thus far for McLeod. Looking for a start at turn 4. Green is out. Danny Palmer with the advantage in the number 93. David Bath right up the inside to take over that 2nd place position. Mark Field on the outside. Now has Kevin Durgan challenging for the 3rd place position. Chris Rule coming up the inside to challenge for the 4th place position as he works beneath the 72 of Mark Field. Danny Palmer, a lot of pressure from Kevin Durgan now. Durgan in the number 7, looks to the outside of Palmer. Chris Rule up to challenge now from the inside as he goes to the inside of Durgan. Side-by-side battle for 2nd, side-by-side battle for the 4th place position. Kevin Durgan continues to battle to the outside. They'll be coming up on the halfway point. 5 down, 5 to go. Continues to be Danny Palmer in the number 93. And the wheel-to-wheel battle. Chris Rule to the inside, Kevin Durgan to the outside continues. Durgan once again looks to the outside of the 93, can't quite do it. Kevin Durgan, former limited sportsman champion, still looking for his first feature event win in the new Super Sportsman division. Would like nothing better than to do it today and make it into the winner's class. But in order to be in that winner's clash, today's feature event would have to go to Durgan in the number 7. And to do that, he's going to have to be able to deal with the 14 of Chris Rule, the number 6 of Ken McLeod. Another car, strong runner, sits on pit road with a broken axle, is the 27 of Richard Bubba Pelton. Would normally be in this qualifying heat. White flag is out. Here comes Chris Rule up to challenge to the outside of the 93 of Palmer. Chris Rule trying to draw it even on the backstretch. At turn 3, the cars are even. Checkered flag out of turn 4. Danny Palmer by a half car length over Chris Rule, followed by Steve Howard, Ken McLeod, and Kevin Durgan. Rolling down to victory lane now. A nice round of applause, please, for Danny Palmer out of Springdale, Maine, driving a Pontiac Grand Prix. A young man who is also still looking for his first feature event in this new Super Sportsman division. 93 is sponsored by Cabana's Auto Body along with Bonanza of Sanford. Looks like Glenn Cusack will start on the pole with Barry Babb to his outside, Joe Bowser to the inside of the second row, Andy Lew to the outside of row 2. Then comes Paul Johnson inside row 3 and Mike Johnson to the outside of row 3. Row 4 on the inside out of Sanford, Maine, Bob Randall in the number 91 to his outside. Current point leader and defending champion here in the late model division, Mike Mayetta Sr. And in the 07 this afternoon, Phil Pinkham. All clear from flagman Eddie Walsh, 10 laps on tap. Cusack and Babb. Green is out. Side by side across the stripe and into turn 1. Cusack to the inside, Babb to the outside. They continue wheel to wheel down the backstretch to turn 3. Slight advantage, Cusack from the inside. Joe Bowser up to challenge Babb for that second place position now. Bowser from the inside. Barry Babb to the outside. Then comes Paul Johnson and Andy Lew. Bowser has position 2 to himself. Here comes Paul Johnson trying to take over position 3 as he works beneath the 0. Takes over 3rd. Bob Randall to 4th. Dropping Barry Babb back to the 5th place position. Babb hung on the outside along with Andy Lew as that inside row fills right straight back to the back of the heat lineup. Paul Johnson sets the 35 to the outside, takes a look outside the 32 of Bowser. They'll be coming up on the halfway mark. 5 down, 5 to go. Glenn Cusack in the Cherry Coke number 2 continues to show the way with an impressive run in his qualifying event. Putting some distance now on Joe Bowser and the rest of the pack. Turning the track in approximately 15.60 seconds. Young man who is still looking for his first feature event of the 91 season. His several qualifying heat wins. We'll see 2 laps to go. Continues with a comfortable lead over the rest of the field. Paul Johnson. Bobby Randall continuing that outside groove, working to the outside of Mike Mayetta and Mike Johnson. White flag is out, 1 to go. checkered flag out. Glenn Cusack, followed by Joe Bowser, Paul Johnson, Mike Mayetta, and too close to call for that fifth place position. The leaderboard shows Bob Randall in the number 91. Rolls down into the victory lane area. Nice round of applause, please, for the winner of heat number 2 in the late model division from Scarborough, Glenn Cusack. The 2 is a 1991 Chevy Lumina sponsored by Coca-Cola, Justin's Popcorn, along with and Pate Collision Center. Lucia shows the way in the number 77, followed by Bob Barash. Tangle on the backstretch. The 89 gets around in front of traffic. That will bring out the caution flag. The 89 driven by Tony Deering. Up at the top of turn 4. Cars back in a column of 2s. Assistant starter Junior Niles indicates the all clear. Ready to try it once again will be Scott Lucier and Bob Barash on the front line. Blackman points to turn 4, asks him to pick it up just a little bit. Green is out. Scott Lucier from the inside picks up where he left off, followed by Barash in the 22. Then comes the number 39, driven by Mike Culprit. Bob Perry in the 87. Works to the outside of the number 18 of Chris Brown. Perry on the move in the number 87, as is Rick Libby in the number 77. Racing out of turn 4 down the front stretch, and 3 wide down into turn 1. The 85, Scott Chapman, along with Al Roberts, go at it 3 wide. Black flag going out to the 58. 3 wide battle shaping up at the front. Bob Barash on the inside. Bob Perry to the outside as they put Scott Lucia in a sandwich. Not where he wants to be, and the 71 is backing up. Barash with a slight advantage in the number 22. Then comes now the 39 from the inside. Mike Culprit, the new leader. Off over turn 4. Flat tire on the 47 of Chris Grondin. Caution flag out. Bob Perry gets the 87 turned around. That will require a caution flag as he sits facing traffic. Well, right now, semi-feature action ready to get back to green. Cars back in a column of 2s. Ready to try it once again. This time, the pole belongs to Mike Culprit in the number 39. He has Scott Chapman to his outside. They bring the field down to turn 4. Green is out. Scott Chapman from the outside with a quick move takes over the point. Culprit back to second. Then comes Al Robertson, the number 63. Scott Chapman with an impressive move. We'll see the halfway mark indicated by starter Union Isles. Now Roberts up to challenge the 39 for the second place position. Roberts squeezes by to take over the second spot between turns 3 and 4. Tango on the backstretch. Ricky Libby in the number 77 sits sideways up in turn 3. That will require the caution flag once again. Flagman once again points to turn 4. Ready for a start. Green is out. Scott Chapman in the 85 once again. Al Robertson, the 63. Then comes a side-by-side battle for the third place position. Jim Burt takes it over in the number 17. 39 of Mike Culprit holds down the fourth place position, but here comes Bill Furnett in the number 66 up to challenge for that fifth place position. Scott Connor looking for racing room in the number 47. Things tightening up at the front now as the comfortable lead enjoyed by Scott Chapman is no more. As Al Roberts right at his back bumper, Jim Burt up to third. Scott Connor is fourth. Then comes Bill Burnett, challenging once again for that fifth place position. Tangle in turn 1. The 29. That's David Wiles. Gets the car turned about, keeps it underway. We stay green. Just 2 laps to go, indicates Union Isles. Jim Burt gets the number 17 turned about now. All the drivers do a nice job of avoiding the 17. He's unable to restart the car. That brings the caution flag out once again. All clear now from assistant starter Union Isles as the drivers stage on the backstretch. Looking to restart at turn 4 once again. Scott Chapman in the number 85. I believe it's Mike Roberts at the wheel of the 63. Green is out. Advantage Scott Chapman from the inside as he continues to show the way in this afternoon's limited Sportsman semi-feature. A lot of pressure from Roberts now in the 63. Scott Connor takes over the third place position. Bill Burnett in the 66. White flag is out. 1 to go. Side-by-side battle for third, but Connor takes it over as Burnett gets too wide. Checkered flag in the air. Semi-feature will go to Scott Chapman, followed by Robertson, the 63. Connor in third place position. In fourth place, the number 59, driven by Frank Scott. And he's your winner down at the start-finish line area. Scott Chapman in the number 85. out. Steve Reno into a quick lead, followed by Viva Norton in the number 38. Tangle in turn 2, just narrowly avoided as we had 4 wide racing there for a moment. Now a spin in turn 4. Phil Weeks gets the car about. All the drivers avoid that. Cars up off over the top of turn 4. Have the 115 Andy Gayu into the retaining wall off over the top of turn 4. That will bring out the caution flag. The 19 of Phil Weeks still sitting unable to refire in the 4-turn area. Driver indicates that he is okay. Out of the car now. Green out at turn 4. Side-by-side battle. Steve Reno to the outside, to the inside rather, with the advantage. Viva Norton on the outside. Then comes Donnie Morse into the 3rd place position. Tim Genron up to 4th. Slides the car through turn 4, loses a little ground now. Ed Strong up the challenge. Remember, only 8 qualifying positions available for the main event. Last qualifier right now would be Paul Ross in the 138. Donnie Morse looking for racing room beneath the number 7 of Reno, and he finds it at turn 1. New leader. We have a tangle in turn 1. Bob Doak gets the car right up on 2 wheels, up off the top of turn 1. Finally gets back underway, but Paul Ross is unable to restart the 138. That will put the field under caution once again. Limited Sportsman consolation event. Only 8 to qualify for the main event. We have 3 laps down in this 15-lap consolation. Steve Reno and Donnie Morse to try it once again as they bring the field down, looking for a start. Green is out. Side by side across the stripe, down into turn 1. They continue wheel to wheel, now a slight advantage. At turn 2, Reno from the inside. But here comes Donnie Morse on the outside, draws it even at turn 3, and puts the bumper ahead, only to have Reno take over out of turn 4. Just married Viva Norton, battling now with Donnie Morse for that 2nd place position. Then comes Ed Strong and Gordon Nelson. Still sitting outside of a qualifying position for today's feature event is point leader Dave Fecto. The last qualifier would be the number 79. That's his Phil Weber, but he has a strong challenge now from Rick Frenette in the number 54. Rick Frenette now up into that 8th and final qualifying position. Flagman indicates it will be the halfway mark this time by. Continues to be Steve Reno. Right now, Viva Norton takes a look to the inside. New leader, Viva Norton. Last qualifier would be the 67. Cars tangle out of turn 2. Everybody collects it on the backstretch. Donnie Morse now goes way high out of turn 4. Problem on the 75 of Donnie Morse, taking him out of a qualifying position. Point leader Dave Fecto in the 78, still not a qualifier. Last qualifier right now would be Phil Weeks in the number 19. Darrell Ward challenging for that position now from the outside, but he gets it out of shape, goes way wide. Meanwhile, up front, Beaver Norton making it look easy as he has a comfortable lead over Steve Reno, and Reno about a similar lead over the rest of the field. It's Strong up now to challenge Gordon Nelson for third. Fifth place in the hands of Rick Burnett. Flagman indicates next time by they will have just 2 laps to go. Beaver Norton, Reno, Nelson, Burnett, Strong, Tim Gentry, Larry Bose, and Phil Weeks, your qualifiers at this moment. White flag, just 1 to go. High point man Dave Fecto outside of a qualifying position. Desperately trying to get into the top 8. Checkered flag is out. Norton, your winner, followed by Reno, Nelson, Burnett, Strong. Unofficially, the last qualifier would be Phil Weeks in the number 19. We have the all clear from assistant starter Junior Niles. The drivers are ready. Drivers, good luck to you all. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those 4 most famous words in auto racing on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Children, start your engines. Down into turn 1. Russ Johnson holding on to a slight advantage as he squeezes by into turn 3. Side-by-side battle finds Tony Field with Scott Johnson to his outside. Tim Maloney looks for racing room to the inside, can't quite find it. Position 2 right on back, a side-by-side battle. One more opportunity for several of these drivers to get into the winner's clash. Danny Palmer is one of those drivers. He works to the outside of Tony Field now, trying to challenge for that 3rd place position. Danny Palmer looking to get into the winner's clash this afternoon, as is Kevin Durgan in the number 7, along with several of the other competitors. Scott Johnson trying to challenge Russ Johnson, but gets a little wide through turns 1 and 4. Loses some ground. He regroups, gets it back to the bumper of the number 19. Battle from positions 3 right on back. Tony Field out of shape, gets the 11 turned about in turn 2. Everybody gets by, and Field keeps the car under power. We stay green. Russ Johnson continuing with a lot of pressure from Scott Johnson. Russ Johnson doing a nice job with a lot of pressure from Scott Johnson. Then comes Danny Palmer third. Kevin Durgan is fourth. David Bathurst spin in turn 4. Mark Field into the infield and a spin by Pelton in the 27. Bubba Pelton, 4-time feature winner in this division. Almost a lap down here early on. Side-by-side battle at the front. Russ Johnson in the 19, Scott Johnson in the 08. Scott Johnson puts a bumper ahead at turn 3. They come even out of turn 4 and even across the stripe. Wheel-to-wheel battle for the first position. Then comes Danny Palmer, and a side-by-side battle waged with Dave Bath to the inside of Kevin Durgan. Kevin Durgan on the move now, wanting to join that group who will race for the $1,000 winner-take-all clash this afternoon. Keep your eyes on the number 7 with Kevin Durgan aboard. Problems on the 90 of Russ Reed as he appears to be headed back to pit road. Nice job being done by Russ Johnson at the point. He continues to hold the point with all kinds of pressure. A mirror full of Scott Johnson and Kevin Durgan coming on the outside. Also in that outside groove, on the move, David Bath along with Ken McLeod and Chris Rule. Working in lap number 13 of this 30-lap feature event. Kevin Durgan again takes a look to the outside of the 08, trying to mount a challenge for that second place position. Durgan draws it even at turn 3 now. Side-by-side battle for second. Scott Johnson on the inside, Kevin Durgan. Durgan now takes a look to the outside of race leader Russ Johnson. Flagman Eddie Walsh indicates it will be the halfway point next time by. $15 down, 15 to go. Lead still in the hands of young Russ Johnson in the number 19. All kinds of pressure from Scott Johnson and Kevin Durgan. Then comes Danny Palmer, Dave Bath, and Ken McLeod. Durgan puts a fender ahead into turn 3, squeezes the car by, looking to turn 4. Russ Johnson right back to challenge their side-by-side. Durgan, however, down into turn 1, the new leader. Working in lap number 18, Kevin Durgan becomes the new leader. Lap car of Tony Field to deal with now. That's the advantage to the outside cars. He gets turned about. And that takes several cars right out over the stripe. Lead in the hands of Durgan. Tony Field unable to restart the number 11, sits in a bad spot. Flagman will let the yellow flag fly. We come under caution at lap 18. Staging for a start in turn 4, 18 laps down. This time it will be Kevin Durgan to the inside, David Bath to the outside. Coming to turn 4, green is out. Kevin Durgan jumps into a quick lead. Up the inside, Russ Johnson to get back into the second place position. Third place, a side-by-side battle, Scott Johnson and David Bath. Ken McLeod up to the 5th place position. On the move is Chris Rule and Steve Howard. David Bath trying to mount a challenge to the outside of Russ Johnson. Gets wide out of turn 4, loses some ground, finds himself back in a side-by-side battle with Scott Johnson once again. Here comes Ken McLeod looking for racing room to the inside. Kevin Durgan right where he wants to be, trying to work himself out into a comfortable lead as the side-by-side battle continues for the second place position. Russ Johnson on the inside, David Bath to the outside. Then comes Scott Johnson. Here comes Chris Rule up to challenge to the outside of Ken McLeod. Second place now in the hands of David Bath as he works to the outside of the 19 of Russ Johnson. Trying to work it down to the inside. Out of the two-turn on the backstretch, David Bath solidly in second place now. Here comes Chris Rule up to challenge on the outside. Chris Rule up to challenge for third now, works to the outside of Russ Johnson. Down into the three-turn, Chris Rule solidly into third place position. Steve Howard now on the move along with Ken McLeod. Down to the final 5 laps, working lap number 26. Kevin Durgan looking to collect his first feature win of the 91 season, and with it, a spot in today's winner's flag. Flagman indicates just 2 to go next time by. A welcome sight for Kevin Durgan as he exits turn 4, sees the 2 flags, just 2 to go. Comfortable lead over David Bath and Chris Rule. Then comes Russ Johnson in a side-by-side battle for 5th between Scott Johnson and Chris Rule. And Steve Howard, rather. White flag is out, 1 to go. Chris Rule gets beneath the 5 of David Bath, trying to take over that second place position. Rule to the inside, Bath to the outside, advantage to Rule, but the checkered flag is for Kevin Durgan, followed by Chris Rule, David Bath, Russ Johnson, and Scott Johnson round out the top 5. And Kevin Durgan accomplishes what he set out to accomplish today. He will make his parade lap and then be back, and we'll have a chance to hear from this afternoon's Super Sportsman feature winner. The number 7 is a 1990 Pontiac Grand Prix. Car is sponsored by Print World, along with Scarborough Muffler Center, Kenneth I. Durgan Incorporated, Garrett Gearboxes, and Scarborough Auto Parts, along with Pullen's Gun Shop. Part of the team behind the efforts of Kevin Durgan in the number 7. Durgan returns the colors to flagman Eddie Walsh.
If anybody has waited through 1991 to pick up a win and get into this winner's clash by the skin of the teeth, it's been Kevin Durgan, and here he is. Welcome him in win number 1. Congratulations, Kevin.
I'm going to hold this on. We've been having a real bad year. Thank you. And I'd just like to thank all my sponsors. Seems this is the first time I'm here. I'd like to thank Ed from Print World, Randy from Scarborough Muffler, Kenneth I. Durgan, Garrett Built Gearboxes, Pullen's Gun Shop, Scarborough Auto Parts, and you know, the crew has been sticking with me all year. We haven't been going that good. We started going a little better 3 weeks ago, and I'd just like to thank everybody.
It has been a long season for you. If I didn't think I'd ever see a season when Kevin Durgan was an underdog. He's always been on top and winning championships and running so well, but this year it's been the opposite. What has been the problem with the car?
Well, basically, there's nothing wrong with the way the car is built. It's fine. I just, you know, I'm used to running good and limited, and if the car didn't run good, I'd make a massive change on it every week. And 3 or 4 weeks ago, I just decided that I was going to change one small thing at a time. And, you know, if I'd done that at the beginning, I could have been running, you know, decent all year. But I just, you know, I didn't have enough patience to try one thing at a time. We just give it a barrage, 4 new springs every week, and so we're just going to pick away at it.
What about the plans for next year?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, I ordered a brand new car, and I'm still going to get that. I'll probably end up keeping this one here for a spare chassis, and The new one should be faster than this one. I think next year everybody's going to get quicker, but hopefully we'll be a little bit quicker than they are.
Well, I remember a couple of seasons ago when the winners' clashes came into play in the late model sportsman division. Phil Pinkham came out, won his feature race that day, came back in the clash and took the $1,000 in that. You have won 2 of the winter clash events, and now you've just put yourself in today. How are you looking toward that?
Well, the biggest thing with that is just where you draw. I mean, the best place starts on the pole, and the next best place is third because they're going to have a restart. But, you know, anybody can win that race. You know, one small change and you could be out, but we'll just leave the car the same way as it is right now and just tweak it a little bit and hope we get a good spot.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. Clayton Tem from Rivco, our sponsor this afternoon, has the trophy for you. Clayton?
Good job.
Kevin, we wish you well this afternoon in the winners' clash.
Thank you very much.
And we bet Scott Malkern is in the pit area looking for a ride. Bruce Elder, back to you. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for Kevin Durgan.
Former champion from Scarborough, Mike Johnson. The number 13 defending champion, Mike Mayetta Sr. Green is out. Tim Land jumps into a quick lead. This afternoon in the number 83, filling in from New Hampshire, is Bobby Gahan, and in the 71, Randy Sanborn. Gary Johnson brings him down for lap number 2. Gary Johnson from the outside. Here comes the number 3, Mike Mayetta Jr. squeezes by into that second place position. Tim Land fights back on the inside, but he's back to third. Kerry Winslow up to challenge now for that third place position. Problems on the Bobby Babb car as he is off the pace. Gary Johnson continues to show the way. Mike Mayetta Jr. Then comes Tim Land in third. Kerry Winslow is fourth. Bobby Libby to fifth. Glenn Cusack gets a nudge from Joe Bowser. Gets the car out of shape just a little bit. Does a nice job of holding it. But in the process, he loses 2 positions to Bowser, and Barry Babb finds himself in a side-by-side battle now with Andy Lude. Gary Johnson continues to show the way. Gary Winslow continues to look to the outside of Tim Land, trying to mount a challenge for that third place position. Bobby Libby looking for racing room at the back of the number 22. Will follow Winslow to the outside as they work to the outside of Tim Land now. Barry Babb on the move in the 0 as he looks to the outside of Bowser in the number 32. Gary Johnson turning the track at about 15.56 seconds. Good, respectable time that's going to be hard for people to overtake. Spin on the backstretch. Mike Mayetta Sr. takes the car sideways up over the apron into the infield. Thus far, unable to restart the number 13 is Mike Mayetta. Caution flag will come out. Give the safety crew a chance to check on the number 13. All clear from atop the flag stand and flagman Eddie Walsh. Once again, Gary Johnson and Mike Mayetta Jr. to square off and bring the field to turn 4. At turn 4, Green is out. Gary Johnson with a slight advantage. Mayetta draws it even down into turn 1. Now the advantage out of turn 2 in the outside lane to Mike Mayetta, the rookie, trying to take over the point, trying to squeeze by, but he goes wide out of turn 4, and it's Gary Johnson back at the point. Spin out of turn 1. The 32 of Joe Bowser. Tim Land gets it turned about along with Bobby Harrison. Also, the 83, we have a spin out of turn 4. Mike Mayetta Jr. gets the car turned about. Bobby Libby spins in turn 1. Someone must have dumped something on the Speedway, the way these cars are getting turned about. But we're ready to go back to green flag racing. Flagman Eddie Walsh indicates all clear. Once again, Gary Johnson and Mike Mayetta Jr. to square off as they bring the field to turn 4. Green is out. Gary Johnson with the advantage from the inside. Bobby Libby trying to close it up on the bumper of Gary Johnson. Mike Mayetta, no place to go but stay in that outside groove and trying to find a way around race leader Johnson. Young Mike Mayetta in his rookie year behind the wheel of a late model Sportsman goes at it wheel to the outside of Gary Johnson, squeezes in fact a bumper ahead at turn 4. They are dead heat across the line and down into turn 1, working in lap number 15 of this 35-lap feature event. The lead is up for grabs between Gary Johnson in the 53 and Mike Mayetta Jr. in the number 3. Bobby Libby just sitting in the 3rd place position, wondering which lane is going to go. Then comes Kerry Winslow in the 22, and Mike Johnson. Cars sideways in turn 4. Gary Johnson gets out of shape, has to get right hard on the brake, and with it he loses about 5 positions. And that gives the lead over to Mike Mayetta Jr. Bobby Libby in 2nd. Mike Johnson is 3rd, Kerry Winslow 4th, and now Andy Lude, your 5th place competitor. Flagman Eddie Walsh indicates it will be halfway this time by. Spin by Bobby Gahan in the number 83 as he takes it into the infield sand area. Unable to restart the 83 in time, and that brings out the caution flag. All clear from Flagman Eddie Walsh. Once again, Bobby Gahan rejoins the rear end of the lineup, along with Phil Pinkham in the 07. Pace car will make its way onto the infield pit road. This time, green at turn 4. Mike Mayetta Jr. Bobby Libby with a challenge to the outside. Mike Johnson looking for racing room to the inside. Bobby Libby, the 1990 Flash winner, must win today's race to run the Flash in 91. So 2 of the top 3 are yet to win a feature event. Race leader Mike Mayetta Jr., Bobby Libby in the 34, both looking to be the 8th driver to get into the winner's flash. Mike Johnson already has 1 feature win to his credit. Rookie Mike Mayetta Jr. doing a nice job with a lot of pressure from a former champion, Mike Johnson, in the number 33. Andy Lude now is to the 3rd place position. Mike Mayetta Sr. going at it side by side with Bobby Libby. Libby trying to mount a challenge once again to the outside of Andy Lude. Mike Johnson now gets beneath the number 3 of Mike Mayetta Jr. They go at it wheel to wheel. Veteran Mike Johnson to the inside, rookie Mike Mayetta Jr. to the outside. Slight advantage, Mike Johnson from the inside. Mike Mayetta Jr. back to second. Then comes Andy Lude with Bobby Libby working to his outside. Mike Mayetta Sr. rounds out the top five. Mike Johnson gradually putting distance on second place competitor Mike Mayetta Jr. Flagman indicates just 5 laps to go. Spin in turn 3. Bobby Libby gets turned about along with Andy Lude and Mike Mayetta Sr. Fire on the number 91 of Bobby Randall. Caution flag required, and now the red flag as Tim Land along with Joe Bowser also into a crash. Mike Mayetta out to assist Bobby Randall as the car begins to fill with smoke. We'll give you a word from the safety crew in just a moment. Concern on the part of Mike Mayetta as he was quick to assist Bob Randall with a concern that the car was filling with smoke. And we'll give you a report on just what happened to the number 91 as soon as we have it. The fortunate thing, of course, that the driver is okay. Some concern as we saw fire from the number 91 and then the car beginning to fill with smoke. And a nice sportsmanlike gesture on the part of Mike Mayetta as he stopped to give some assistance to Bob Randall if he needed to get out of the car. First indication is that the engine went away in the number 91. Flagman Eddie Walsh gives the drivers the all clear as they stage on the backstretch. 29 laps recorded on the leaderboard. 6 laps to go. Looking for a start at turn 4, and we have it. Slight advantage, Mike Johnson from the inside. Mike Mayetta Jr. on the outside. Mike Mayetta Sr. up to third has Paul Johnson to his rear bumper. Side-by-side battle now at the point. Mike Johnson on the inside. Mike Mayetta Jr. on the outside. Advantage this time, Mike Mayetta, the rookie, with a strong run on the backstretch. Trying to work his way back out and around the veteran. Mayetta continues. A hard charge takes over the lead. We're in lap number 32 of a 35-lap event. Here comes Mike Mayetta Sr. to the outside. Perhaps problems on the 33 of Mike Johnson. Mike Mayetta Jr. looking for his first ever late model Sportsman feature win. We'll see just 2 laps to go. Problems on Mike Johnson's 33. 2 to go. Johnson fading in the number 33. Bobby Libby sideways up over the top of turn 2. Libby gets the car refired. White flag is out. father-son action at the head of the pack. Mike Mayetta Jr. trying to hold off his dad now. One final lap. Mike Mayetta Jr. in the number 3, his dad in the 13th. Feature win to Mike Mayetta Jr. First ever late model sportsman feature win for the rookie. Mike Mayetta Jr., 18-year-old rookie from South Portland, Maine, collects the colors from flagman Eddie Walsh, will make his parade lap and make his first ever visit to victory lane in a late model sportsman. Does it in style over defending champion and his father, Mike Mayetta Sr. The youngster going to do something a little bit different as he decides to take the flag around the opposite way. A colorful young man looking to follow in his dad's footsteps. Mike Mayetta Jr. put it all together this afternoon, will be the 8th driver eligible to run in the winner's clash. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the rookie as he brings it back to victory lane. First ever feature event. Young man that I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more from. The number 3, sponsored by the Mayetta Construction Company along with the Rowley Agency and Pleasant Hill Auto Sales. We go now trackside to Andy Cusack. Andy?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're sharing his excitement. Welcome Mike Mayetta Jr. to his inaugural late model win. Congratulations, my friend.
I tell you, hard charging guys up there. Saw my father, Mike Johnson, back there. I didn't think I had a chance, but Jesus, feels so good, I tell you.
You had to be on the edge of your driver's seat on that last restart with Mike Johnson there, and then his car looked like it just started slowing down, or yours picked something up.
Well, after my tires get hot, I'd slow down after a few laps, but I tried cooling them down to that caution. I guess it worked, because I don't know if he gave me some, what he did, but geez, I love it.
Well, I tell you, it looked like he had slowed down a bit, but I'll tell you, then your dad came on. I think everybody in the grandstand has to say, you know, probably his dad let him win that. But how do you feel about something like that?
I don't know. It's possible, but he's running real good this year. I'm glad to see him win the championship. My crew and his crew have been working hard with me. Boy, it feels so good.
Well, I'll tell you, we've got a trophy here that'll remain some special in your library of trophies from Clayton, Tem, and Rivco. For the presentation, he will give you that trophy so that you may put it on your mantle. A $50 gift certificate from Big A Auto Parts for the late model sportsman division, and we congratulate you, Mike.
Thank you, Andy.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a nice round of applause for Mike Mayetta Jr. Before we get back and Mike Jr. gets on the picture, Mike Mayetta Sr., so we get you over here for just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you for a 5th championship, Mike Mayetta. Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you, Andy.
A 5th time you've held the championship ring, as will be awarded to you at the annual banquet award, and it has to feel good today, but there was the problem with Bob Duranda. We noticed you were the first one to come to his aid.
Well, I don't think he knew it was on fire, Andy. I could look in under there and I could see all the fire on. He was trying to get the car going. Sometimes when you have a fire like that, it's the car floods up and gas gets in the exhaust, but I could see that wasn't the case here, so we had to get him out of the car.
So what happens with the celebrations now that you have the championship?
We'll see what happens after the Dash for Cash. The day will be over, then we'll talk about it.
Well, we wish you all the best of luck and we congratulate you on bringing another son into the sport and a fine job today.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen,
looking for a start at turn 4. Green is out. Alan Burraby to the point. Spin in turn 3. Several cars on the high between turns 3 and 4. That will undoubtedly require the caution flag. Looks like the 99 of Jim Culprit, the number 12 of Tim Gendron. Safety men checking on the number 99. Ready to try it once again. They have gone nowhere as that action occurred in the very first lap. Flagman Eddie Walsh ready. Green is out. Alan Burby with the advantage across the stripe and down into turn 1. Trying to work his way out and around Rocky Yargo. Then comes David Raymond to third. Al Meserve trying to take over the 4th place position as he races beneath the 96 of John Makeover. Al Burset now trying to work his way into 5th. Then comes Dave Culprit up to 6th place position. Trying to find a way by the 23 of Brissett. Culprit into the side of the number 23. Yellow flag as we have 3 cars in trouble up off turn 4. Dave Langless, perhaps with the most serious damage out of that skirmish. He tries to drive the car away and can't do it. Eddie Walsh crosses the drivers over into a column of 2s, meaning the lineup is correct. We should be ready to get back to green flag racing. Pace car will make its way to the infield pit road. We look for a start at turn 4. Alan Burley, Rocky Yargo. Green is up. Alan Burley with a slight advantage. Rocky Yargo comes back to challenge hard from the outside. Then comes Al Meserve and David Raymond going at it side by side. 3 wide racing in turn 3 now. Dave Culprit up in that 3rd groove. Alan Burby continues to show the way in the number 50, but here comes Al Meserve to the inside. 3 wide again. Rocky Yargo gets taken way up to the top of turn 4, does a nice job of bringing the car back. Problems on the number 50 of Alan Burby as he has lost the power. Problems also on the 83 of Donnie Whitten. He's taken the car on the pit road. Lead in the hands of Al Meserve, followed by Al Burset in the number 23, David Raymond in the number 20, in the number 3. Then comes '56 of Robert Bodwell now trying to go 3 wide. He tangles with Chuck Haynes. They are out over the top of turns 1 and 2. Chuck Haynes, everybody comes back onto the track. We tangle in turn 3. Gordon Nelson gets it turned sideways in a tangle with the 99 of Jim Colbert. Problems on the number 6 now of Billy Thompson as he is stopped at the top of turn 4. Caution flag will fly once again. Al Meserve and Al Burset bring the field to turn 4. Green is out. Advantage Al Burset from the outside as they race to turn 1. Cars get together out of turn 2. Burset smokes the tires out of turn 2, loses some ground. Yellow flag out as David Raymond sits up at the top of turn 1. Unable to get the number 3 back underway. All clear from flagman Eddie Walsh. Once again, Meserve and Burset. Green is out. Al Burset, slight advantage down into turn 1. Al Meserve right back to draw it even at turn 2. Meserve takes over the point. 3 wide racing down the backstretch into turn 3. Spin on the backstretch. Looks like the 74 of Gary Adams up against the sand barrier. Continues to show the way over Dennis Quinn. Then comes Jeff Morgan in the 3rd place position. Rick Frenette up to 4th. Danny Bubar, your 5th place competitor. And here comes Larry Gelinas. He's up to 6th. Al Meserve yet to collect a main event in the limited sportsman division. Would be an additional competitor should he be able to hang on to the lead. Flagman Eddie Walsh indicates they'll be coming up on the halfway mark next time by. Rick Frenette on the move. He gets the car sideways out of turn 4. Burnett and Gelinas put the cars in the outside groove. Bill Weeks smoking the tires through turns 1 and 2, but he gives up a position to Beaver Norton in the 38. Continues to be Al Meserve, your leader in the 112. Dennis Quinn with a lot of pressure now from Jeff Morgan and Rick Frenette. Battle is for second. Dennis Quinn and Rick Frenette go at it side by side. Then comes Jeff Morgan and Larry Gelinas on the move on the outside. Cars tangle in turn 4. Rick Frenette, Dennis Quinn. Danny Whitten gets the car into the wall hard. Trying to go between cars, that will bring out the red flag. Donnie Whitten climbing right out of the car, so he's okay. But he was hard into the tire retaining wall. 18 laps down. This time Al Meserve and Jeff Morgan bring him down. Green is out. Advantage from the outside to Morgan. Morgan and Meserve tango, and Morgan is up over the top of turn 1. And with it, Larry Gelinas inherits the lead. Larry Gelinas, second in the point standings coming into today's racing. Gradually putting some distance on second place competitor Danny Bubar. Jeff Morgan, of course, a lap down. Then comes Pee Wee Knight in the 111 in third place. Even Orton is fourth. Bill Weeks and Billy Thompson going at it for the 5th place position. Jeff Morgan takes the number 70 on a pit road. Gordon Nelson also headed to pit road. Larry Gelinas continues to pad his lead over Danny Bubar and Pee Wee Knight. Bill Weeks gets the car turned about into turn 1. Manages to get it stopped before he gets into the tie-up area. That will require the caution flag. Four laps down and all clear once again. This time Larry Gelinas and Danny Bubar to bring the field to turn 4. Green is out. Larry Gelinas from the point, followed by Danny Bubar. Then comes Pee Wee Knight and Beaver Norton as the top 4 begin to put distance on the rest of the field. Battle shaping up for the 5th place position. Al Burset in the 23 has Rick Frenette now to his outside as they go at it wheel to wheel for the 5th place position. Flagman Eddie Walsh indicates just 2 to go. Larry Gelinas with a comfortable lead. Pee Wee Knight now up to challenge Danny Bubar. 2 to go. Battle for the 2nd place position and the 5th place position. Rick Frenette gets it by the 23 of Burset. Danny Bubar hanging on to 2nd. White flag is out, 1 to go. Checkered flag in the air. Feature win number 2 to Larry Gelinas and the number 37, Danny Bubar, Pee Wee Knight, Beaver Norton, and Rick Frenette, your top 5. to collect the colors from flagman Eddie Walsh. He'll be back, and we'll have a chance to hear from this afternoon's limited sportsman feature event winner in just a few minutes. Larry Gelinas returns the colors to flagman Eddie Walsh.
Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for back-to-back wins in Larry Gelinas. Larry, congratulations. Now you're making a habit of it.
I wasn't sure if I was going to have to be back there 2 laps ago, but I tried to keep out of it, and I made it through.
Well, now you've had a night win last week, a day win today. How does the car seem to go? Is it better during the day?
Yes, it is going better now, but it's not only because of the daytime, it's just I've been more lucky.
Well, luckier and fast enough to get out front. You did a nice job to pick up your second win today. We'll be seeing you shortly in the Winners Clash event, and we wish you well in that. Clayton Tem from Ripco has the trophy for you, and you can put that beside your other from last week.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause again for win number 2 for Larry Gelinas. As Bruce has explained to you, the first thing we need to take care of is how we're going to draw for starting positions. So Eddie Walsh will flip a quarter at this time. If it lands on heads, for example, in this division, Ken McLeod would make the draw, and then we'll go consecutively down through the point order according to these drivers who have had a win. In the converse, if it's tails, we'll start with the last place driver in point standings, which in this case would be Scott Mulkern for the Super Sportsman division. So, with no further ado, Eddie Walsh with the flip of the coin, please. It is heads. Therefore, Ken McLeod will make the first draw. Ken, good luck. Positions 1 through 9 available at this time. He'll walk it this way. And he will say, I'll start 9th place in the order. Come from the back, Ken. Ken McLeod will start 9th. Next to draw, just putting himself into the clash today from Scarborough, welcome out Kevin Durgan. He says that's not bad because it's number 1. Kevin Durgan's day, as he will start on the pole position, and he's won 2 of these events before. Next to draw, out of Freeport, Maine, Bubba Pelton. Bubba will start just about midway through the field at position number 5. Chris Rule, with 3 wins to his credit this season, makes the next draw.
Number 2! Come on, Chris!
Cheer them on as position number 2 is still available. It will not go to Rule, however, he'll start 4th in the lineup outside of row 2. 4th place for Chris Rule. Following Rule on the draw with 1 win back in July, welcome out David Bath. McLeod is over here chanting 11th. Make him 11th. No, Ken, that won't be the case. He'll have a better spot outside of Kevin Durgan at position 2. David Bath has the 2nd place spot. Steve Howard, with a win last week, just putting himself into the Winners Clash, will make the next draw. Position 3 still available. It's not the front spot he'd like, but in fact it's position number 8. He'll start back to keep Ken McLeod company. Next to draw, 1 win to his credit, a rookie in this division, as all these drivers are this season. Welcome Tim Maloney. Tim Maloney picks it up and tosses out can number 7. Tim Maloney will start 7th on the grid. Position 3 still available, and Butch Buzzell has to make the choice between 2 cans. Butch, pressure is on. Some days you ought to play the lottery. Butch Buzzell will start 3rd on the grid. That leaves 1 left, and come on out, Scott Mulkern, a driver who filled in twice for Chris Rule during the season, or 3 times, and picked up 2 wins. He'll start 6th place on the field. So that's a look at your starting lineup. Gentlemen, we wish you all the best of luck. Prepare your cars. We'll line you up here on the front stretch. 15 laps, a mandatory caution at 5. Winner take all, $1,000 to win this afternoon. Give them all a nice round of applause and wish them well.
All clear for the drivers once again as they glance one more time to the flag stand staging on the backstretch. We look for a start at turn 4. Kevin Durgan on the inside, David Bath to the outside. Green is out. Kevin Durgan, and the quick move by Chris Rule down into the inside and gets the second place position. David Bath trying to hang into the outside, but unable to hold off Chris Rule. Goes way wide in the number 5, and he slides back to the third place position. Kevin Durgan with about a car and a half length over Chris Rule. Then comes David Bath, Butch Buzzell, and Bubba Pelton. Pelton slows on the backstretch. Problems on the 27. Looks like a flat left rear tire on the 27 of Bubba Pelton. And he will retire early from the winner's clash. Driver with 4 feature wins headed onto pit road. Meanwhile, up front, it continues to be Kevin Durgan. All kinds of pressure from Chris Rule. Rule keeps looking to the inside beneath the number 7. Has not yet found room. Top 3 trying to put some distance on the rest of the pack. Ken McLeod and Steve Howard still hung out back in the rear of the lineup. Ken McLeod looks to set the car to the outside now. Keep your eyes on the number 6 of Ken McLeod, 6-time feature winner in this division. Chris Rule setting to the outside now, takes a look to the outside of number 7. Butch Buzzell experiencing problems in the number 15. Chris Rule now once again mounting a challenge to the outside of Kevin Durgan. Durgan on the inside, Chris Rule to the outside. Kevin Durgan again holding off the hard-charging Chris Rule in the number 14. Caution flag flies as they complete lap 10. It's a mandatory caution. 5 laps to go. And this will tighten the field for one last dash. A 5-lap dash with $1,000 on the line for the driver who can cross the line first 5 laps from now. Instructions from the flagman now as he points to the 2 drivers, tells them to hold it even. And it's going to be a drag race out of turn 4. And now a little sight game from the middle of the backstretch to turn 4 as Kevin Durgan and Chris Rule going to try to get the jump on each other. They come even to turn 4. Green flag is out. Good even start. Advantage, slight advantage. Durgan by a bumper across the line. Chris Rule coming back hard on the outside. Chris Rule half a car length advantage as they race to turn 3. Durgan coming back on the inside. Still an advantage on the outside. Chris Rule as they cross the line. Durgan fighting back on the inside. Tim Maroney gets out of shape. Manages to hold the car. Slight advantage in turns 3 and 4 to the 14, but here comes the number 7 back again. Almost a dead heat across the line. They bang tires in turn 1. Kevin Durgan to the inside. They're banging tires on the backstretch. Down into turn 3, just 2 laps to go. Durgan on the inside. David back looking for room. 2 to go. David Bath looking for room as he is hard right to the back bumper of the number 7. Chris Rule trying it again on the outside. Anybody's race. White flag in the air. Bath looks to the inside. It continues to be Durgan. Durgan, Bath, and Rule. Chris Rule has about a half a lap to do it if he's going to mount a challenge again. Checkered flag in the air. Here they come, Kevin Durgan, David Bath, Chris Rule, and Kevin Durgan, wire to wire. He comes down to collect the colors from flagman Eddie Walsh.
It's not his first time into the winner's circle with a $1,000 victory in the winner's clash, but let him know he put it there. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Durgan. Another $1,000 victory. Congratulations, Kevin.
Thanks. You know, it kind of makes up for the rest of the year a little bit. You know, I can't complain because I haven't won one yet. Now I won 2 in one day. Just happy and thank all my sponsors again.
Well, you said that it took a good draw to win these winners' clashes, and I don't know how you got so lucky today to pull the pole position, but you did one heck of a job. And what'd you think with the mandatory caution? Chris looked like he might have had some power on you.
Well, I don't think he's got power on him. His car's handled a little bit better, and we got together there going in 1, and it felt like my right front tire got cut down because it pushed like the devil after that, and we got together a couple times, and I wasn't going to give it to him anyways.
We could see you going down the backstretch, and the tire smoke is peeling off you two, and that's the way perhaps the winner's clash ought to be, but it still ended up to be a good, clean race. But what goes on in your mind when you're out there doing that?
Well, basically, I'm just trying to think, my tires stick out about 5 inches on the right side of the car, and if they hit anything, these tires just cut right down like nothing. So, you try to run hard, but not so hard that you're into somebody's door and cutting your tires.
Well, you're a $1,000 winner today for using your head while you're out there driving around. And I think you know this gentleman. You speak of your sponsors. This is Ed Buddington from Print World, who is happy to hand over the $1,000 and the trophy to his own car. Ed?
Congratulations, Kevin. It's well worth today's event for you to win it.
Like I said, I'd just like to thank my sponsors again. Ed's one of them, and we're going to be hitting them all up shortly, see if they want to be involved again next year. So we'll be here.
A good time to ask him now after you come out of 2 wins in one day. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a nice round of applause for Kevin Durgan. Well, he'll pull one off the pavement, and he will start number 7 out of 8 cars today. Mike Maeda Jr. starting 7th place on the grid. Next to draw with 2 wins to his credit, 1 in June, 1 in August, a former champion, Bob Harrison. Bob Harrison scooches down and picks up Dale Earnott's number 3. Will be the starting position for the number 37 in today's Winners Clash event. Next to draw, he'll be driving car number 22 today. Welcome forward, Joe Ozer. Cheer for your favorite driver as pole position is still available. He picks it up, hesitates to look. That's not a bad spot, about midway through it. Spot number 5 on the field. Joe Bowser will start 5th place with car number 22. Following him to the drawing positions is Andy Lude. We'll help you read it, Andy. We put a little line under it because we know you get confused between 6 and 9. But this is number 6, a 6th place starting spot for Andy Lude today. Next up with 3 wins during the 1991 season, here's Paul Johnson. 4 cans to choose from. 1st and 2nd place still available. Why don't you tell me what it is? 1. Hey, that's not a bad spot. Paul Johnson will start pole position. Well, that leaves cousin Mike Johnson to step forward and try to pick up position number 2 and start outside. Mike, go for the draw. He says, I'll take the first one that I come up with. That wasn't a bad choice. You start right outside. Position number 2 for Mike Johnson. Working the way up through, Bob Randall will make the next draw. Bob? He and my editor are standing here discussing who wants what. Well, I tell you what, that's not a bad spot. Spot number 4. He says to Maeda, you get it. All right, Mike Maeda, late model champion, 5 wins to your credit this season. Go ahead. Just for the history books. number 8. You can't get much further back than that, but you're used to it. Ladies and gentlemen, there's your starting field for the late model Sportsman 1991 Winners Clash. Gentlemen, prepare your cars. Good luck to you all. 15 laps on tap, mandatory caution at 5, $1,000. Winner take all. Bruce Elder.
Flagman Eddie Walsh indicates chance for a hot lap or two here for the late model Sportsman to get the cars warmed up again, the tires warmed up. Eight of the best late model Sportsman anywhere in the Northeast, ready to go at it. 15 laps, $1,000 winner take all. Paul Johnson and Mike Johnson bring them down for a start at turn 4. Green is out. Paul Johnson right from the point, followed by Mike Johnson. Bob Randall looking for racing room. Obviously, the Randall crew doing an outstanding job to get the 91 back into shape for the winner's clash. Mike Johnson all over the back bumper of cousin Paul Johnson. They continue to tangle on the backstretch. Mike Johnson into the back end, and Paul Johnson gets into the number 22. That will require the caution, then the red flag. Safety men to check on the driver. Paul Johnson backing the car up. Hopefully just body damage on the side of the car. Paul Johnson climbs out of the number 35. Indication from the safety men is that all the drivers are okay. This time it will be Mike Johnson and Bob Randall to square off on the front row.
Get him! Hang on!
All clear from flagman Eddie Walsh. 1 down, 14 to go. Remember, a mandatory caution with 5 to go. $1,000 winner take all. Flagman points to turn 4. Here they go. Green is out. Mike Johnson right from the point, followed by Randall on the outside. Andy Lude to 3rd. Mike Mayetta 4th. And Bobby Harrison 5th. Working in lap 4, here comes Andy Lude with a challenge to the outside. He goes wide. It's the car sideways out of turn 4. Randall has to get into the brakes to avoid the back end of the 56. Mike Mayetta now challenging beneath Randall for that 3rd place position. Continues to be Mike Johnson. They're working in lap 6. Mike Johnson stretching it out a bit now over Andy Lude. Side-by-side battle continues for the 3rd place position. Mike Mayetta to the inside, Bob Randall to the outside. Race continues to be for 3rd as Mayetta and Randall continue to battle. Mayetta takes it over now, working in lap 8. Randall now trying once again beneath the 13 of Mayetta. Mayetta goes wide. That allows Bobby Harrison to move in there. Coming to the caution lap Next time around, they're working in lap 10, mandatory caution with 5 to go. Final 5 laps. Mike Johnson, Andy Liu. Green is out. Mike Johnson with the advantage to the inside. Here comes Randall up the inside, trying to take over the second place position as they race to turn 3. Bob Randall now looking for a way around Mike Johnson. Flagman indicates it will be just 2 to go. If Bob Randall is going to do it, he has just 2 laps in which to find a way around the 33 of Mike Johnson. Randall with a tire rubbing on that right front fender again. Going to have to decide if he sets to the outside or continues the pressure from the inside. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go. Mike Johnson hard into the throttle, trying to get a little advantage over Randall. Checkered flag in the air as they come out of the 4-turn. Mike Johnson secures the winner's clash in the late model division. Mike Johnson down to collect the colors from flagman Eddie Walsh.
Mike, jump 4 of them! Hey, you left 4 on the
Mike
track.
Johnson, come on over here.
Asshole!
They say sometimes this sport is a sport of love and hate, I guess, but here you are in the winner's circle, $1,000. Richard, how are things from the driver's seat for you today?
Well, the car's going real good. I feel real sorry about Paul. All I ask for them is that get the whole story before they go condemning me, because it's not me.
And it's a good, people will work.
And it wasn't Paul either.
Well, what does happen in the heat of racing over there?
That's right, it's real close, and one tad of a mistake, and hey, someone's out of it. I did spin the guy, he got out of shape, I backed it off and let him crack. Unfortunately, he couldn't.
Well, I think sometimes in the heat of competition you get a chain reaction like what happened over there today, and sometimes that initiates things and gets things further than what we expect.
That's exactly right.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, today the $1,000 winner's class trophy from Rivco will go on the shelf from Clayton Tem to Mike Johnson and the Pleasant Hill Gardens team and the Polar Beverages crew.
Well, we want to thank you very much.
$1,000 is yours. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Johnson. One class still remains. This time 19 drivers will make draws for a 20-lap winner's class race. Low point driver will start first with the draw, and that means that Kevin Tobias, who filled in for Larry Vos, will walk forward and make the draw. Every spot is available. That could be good and bad, Kevin. In your case, that's not too bad. It's the pole position. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Tobias has taken the pole spot. Next to drive, the man who's moved up to the Super Sportsman division, Kevin Jelinas, will draw.
Heather! When you go, pull it out!
He'll reach down. We have to see it in order to know where to line you up, Kevin. I don't blame you, because that's 14th spot. I wouldn't want to start there either. Kevin Jelinas will start 14th. Next out, Scott Connor, who picked up one of our double wins on a day of a tour show. Scott Connor, rookie in the division. Decides to come right up front. He says, that's not a bad place to pick from. That's 4th place spot on the field. Scott Connor will start 4th. Next out, Don Cooper Jr. will make the draw. So that's 2 ones. That makes 11, Don. Don Cooper Jr. will start 11th place on the field. You can see these high point guys Frenette, Fecto, Knight, they're all saying they're shivering, hoping some of those low spots are still available. We'll see, because Larry Vos is going to come out and draw next for us. Larry Vos with a recent feature win. Picks it up slowly. Boy, you don't get much worse than that, I'm afraid, Larry. 16th spot on the field. And Knight and Fecto over there going, whew, at least we know we don't have to start out back. Next out, Dave Langlois, new rookie in the division, placed in a tie for third in the most popular driver voting. Reaches down and pulls out of the hat number 3. Third place for Dave Langlois. Ron Smith with an early win in the season will draw next for us. Ron Smith. Looking so methodical over the field of cans. He says, not too bad, you're right, that's halfway through. 8th place on the starting grid for Ron Smith. Next up, Don Morse, who picked up a win back on June 22nd. Don Morse will make the draw. 10th spot on the grid will be the spot that the number 75 of Don Morse will draw. Following him to the drawing field will be Jeff Morgan with car number 70. Jeff Morgan with the draw. Pressure's on, Jeff. They're chanting for you. I gotta tell you, they're gonna go home disappointed unless you can pull something out of the hat in the races. They're gonna start 15th on the grid. Jeff, we wish you the best of luck. Next out, Billy Thompson from car number 6. Billy Thompson will make the draw. Wow. He says number 6. Well, they turn it the right way, so it's number 9. Well, Billy Thompson will start 9th on the field. Position number 2 and position number 5 still available at this time. We'll see if perhaps Danny Bubar, who picked up 2 wins, can pull one off the pavement. Danny Bubar with car number 24 says that's that spot number 5 we've been looking for. He'll start 5th on the field. 5th for Danny Bubar. Next out, Beaver Norton, who picked up one of the opening day feature wins. Beaver Norton from car number 38. He says, let it be 2. It's got a 2 in it, but it's number 12 where Beaver Norton will start. 12th place on the field. The driver you voted as most popular in this limited sportsman division makes the draw next, Pee Wee Knight. Position number 2 still available, and he has 4 cans to choose from. Rotates it around because that's one of those tricky numbers like Billy Thompson had, but it's better than Billy because it's number 6. 6th place for Pee Wee Knight. He says that's a lot better than starting up back. Next out, Rick Frenette. 2 wins back on May 12th and July 6th. Rick Frenette makes the draw, still looking for that outside pole position with 3 choices left. Scoops it up, hands it over. It's not it, it's number 7. Rick Frenette will start 7th on the field. 2 cans to choose from. Larry Gelinas and Dave Fecto still to choose. Larry Gelinas, come on out. You're next in the drawing order. 50-50 chance. 2 and 13, they tell me are the positions left. Let me tell you, Larry, that's unlucky 13 for you. Larry Gelinas will start 13th. You know the job, Dave. Go ahead. You had tough breaks in the heat and consolation event. You just better hope that says number 2 on it. You might as well drink some of that. That's right on the bottom it says number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Fecto will start in position number 2. All the drivers have drawn. Good luck to you all. Please prepare your cars for competition. 20 laps on the grid for these 16 cars. Mandatory caution at 5 laps remaining. $1,000. The winner takes all. Wish them well as they prepare their cars.
Kevin Tobias behind the wheel of the number 80 for the winner's clash. To his outside, Dave Fecto in the number 78 will bring the field to turn 4. Green is out. Car out of shape right out of turn 4. We have cars going 3 wide into turn 1. They get it back down to a column of 2s. Here comes Dave Fecto on the outside. Fecto trying to find a way to challenge. Kevin Tobias in the number 8. Lead in the hands of Kevin Tobias. A lot of pressure from Dave Fecto. Then comes Scott Connor, Pee Wee Knight on the move. Larry Jelinas gets it sideways. Larry Jelinas hard into the 3-turn sandbanking. Red flag out. Safety men indicate Larry Jelinas out of the car, and he indicates to them that he's okay. Official word is that the 54 is disqualified, sent to the pit area. No word on the degree of damage to the number 37 of Larry Jelinas, but it certainly appeared that he went hard into the sandbanking. It protects the end of the concrete wall at the top of turn 2. So very questionable as to whether or not he would be able to get the car back into competition. Just 2 laps down, 18 to go. Pace car makes its way onto the infield pit road. Cars begin to pick it up approaching turn 4. Green is out. 3-way dash to the line. Advantage from the outside, Dave Fecto, but here comes Tobias back on the inside. Out of 2-turn on the backstretch, Dave Fecto with the advantage. Pee Wee Knight on the move in the 111. Spin by Jeff Morgan. He manages to keep the car underway. We stay green. Spin on the backstretch now. Billy Thompson off the infield side. We have a car off over the top of turn 3. That will bring out the caution flag once again. Scott Connor and Donnie Morse also out of the pit area to rejoin the line. Heavy damage to the right side of the number 43. Pace car onto the infield pit road. Dave Fecto, Pee Wee Knight will bring the field to turn 4. Green is out. Dave Fecto right from the pole position. Now Danny Bubar up to challenge to the inside of the 111. Pee Wee Knight taking a look to the outside of Dave Fecto in the number 78. Pee Wee Knight now trying to draw it even at turn 4. Can't quite do it. Continues to make a bid to the outside of race leader Dave Fecto. Overheating problem on the number 17 of Kevin Jelinas. He'll take the car back on pit road. Don Culprit rather in the number 17. Dave Fecto continues to show the way. Followed by Pee Wee Knight, Danny Bubar, Billy Thompson, fourth, and Ron Smith, your fifth place competitor. Danny Bubar now has moved to the outside as Knight has taken up the inside row. Will try to mount a challenge beneath the 78 of Dave Fecto. Billy Thompson up to challenge for that third place position now. Thompson works beneath the 24 of Danny Bubar. Takes over the third place position. Pee Wee Knight continues to dog the back bumper of the number 78 of Dave Fecto. Stephen Orton in the number 38 takes the car behind the pit wall. Coming up on the mandatory caution as the cars complete lap number 15. Caution flag flies. All clear from flagman Eddie Walsh. A 5-lap dash with $1,000 waiting for the man to cross the line first. Dave Fecto, Pee Wee Knight bring the field to turn 4. Green is out. Fecto with a slight advantage, but here comes Pee Wee Knight now with a bid to the outside. Knight working himself out, trying to work around Dave Fecto in the number 78. Knight makes a move around Dave Fecto. New leader working lap number 17 is Pee Wee Knight. Knight evidently with a little bit left in reserve that he wasn't showing till the last 5 laps. Takes over the lead. And next time around, we'll see the 2 flags from flagman Eddie Walsh as he begins to put distance on Dave Fecto now. Impressive show of strength by Pee Wee Knight in the 111. 2 to go. As Pee Wee Knight saved a little bit in reserve for the last 5 laps. We'll see the white flag in the air as they exit turn 4. 1 to go. Billy Thompson takes over second place now as he works beneath the 78 of Dave Fecto. Checkered flag flies. It goes to Pee Wee Knight. Impressive run in the late going by Pee Wee Knight. Knight run in the 1990 season, getting his biggest payday of the 1991 year. Coast down to collect the colors from flagman Eddie Walsh. We will be going to Victory Lane momentarily to hear from the limited Sportsman winners clash. Victor, Pee Wee Knight.
Put your hands together when this man climbs out of the car. He even looks $1,000 richer. Pee Wee Knight. Oh, he says yee-haw as he gets out of the car. Pee Wee, congratulations. A heck of a run.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Boy, I'll tell you, that was fun. That's decent when you get up beside someone like Dave Fecto and get a chance to really race cars. I tell you, that's when it's really all about.
I tell you, you said getting up beside him to race cars. At the first bit of it there during the first 15 laps, it looked like you'd just kind of fallen behind Dave, and we didn't know if you were going to get around it. But then the story changed. Were you saving something for that mandatory caution?
Well, last year, Brad saved a little bit for me at the last 5, and I figured that he might have been just a tad smarter than I was. So this year I saved just a tad for David, and it worked out.
Well, I'll tell you, it sure did work out well today. What a day for you. Win the most popular driver contest, take away $1,000. Bob Bailey from High Torque Racing Engines has the trophy for you that will go on the mantle and I'm sure will be treasured for a lifetime. Bob?
Glad you won the race, and I wish it had been one of my engines, but you can't have them all, you know?
Thank you, Bob. I'd like to thank the guy that does build my motor, the guy that works on a lot of my cars. His name is Paul Berry. Most people don't know Paul, but I'll tell you, the motors that he builds me, he builds them just for me. And he helps me work on that race car. He's got a wife and a little boy at home, and he gives up their time, comes over to my house, works on that race car. He makes sure every week that that car is ready to go. I tell you, without his help and without the rest of my family's help, I couldn't possibly make that car go like it does.
You've got a wonderful combination that you've put together, and today it worked just like it's supposed to. We congratulate you.
Thank you, Andy. I want to thank everybody here. The most... the driver thing is unbelievable. You know, I really appreciate that. I'm glad everybody notices me on the racetrack and notices how we operate. And I'll tell you, you people telling us so really means a lot.
Thanks, Pee Wee. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause again for Pee Wee White in the $1,000 winners class. We thank you all for being with us today. Hope you can join us for the Enduro coming up next Sunday. And then, of course, the final race of the season, the American Canadian Tour, is back with us on September 22nd.